developments here when it comes to that budget bill that's making its way through the Senate. This right here, a live look outside over in Washington, D.C., where within the chambers of the Capitol building, senators are still on the floor. At this point, now past the 24-hour mark. You'll remember they started this debate yesterday morning at 6 a.m., and they are still down there on the floor, even at this hour, still making more proposals for future amendments and having additional votes going on at this hour. Still have not seen the actual budget bill being put up to a full vote of the Senate as of yet. Democrats have been attempting to delay this by proposing dozens of amendments. At this point, uncertain if the bill will even pass when it's brought to the full floor, though. Republicans only have 3 votes that they could spare, and some have been on the fence. Republican Senator Thom Tillis saying he'll be a no vote over concerns that qualified Medicaid recipients could lose coverage. Senator Rand Paul saying he's worried about adding trillions to the deficit, so he's out as well. Senator John Curtis opposing newly added taxes on wind and solar energy. It's also unclear how Senator Lisa Murkowski of Alaska and Susan Collins of Maine will be voting, as they've broken with party lines on Medicaid amendments, though additional carve-outs for the state of Alaska could win Lisa Murkowski back over to supporting the bill. If it does pass, it would then head back to the House, where it once again faces an uncertain fate, though again that bill still has not been brought to a full vote on the Senate floor, though we will continue to track that progress closely. Now, meanwhile, with this bill making its way through the Senate chambers, we're also taking a peek at how it could impact those here in our community if it passes. Oregon Health Authority saying 1 in 3 Oregonians are on Medicaid, some at risk of bearing the brunt of budget cuts from President Trump's big beautiful bill. That's because $1.5 trillion for Medicaid, food stamps, green energy initiatives, all potentially on the chopping block. Medicaid providing health coverage for low-income and disabled people, and the largest health insurance provider in the entire country. Now, here in the state of Oregon, there are 1.4 million people on Medicaid, according to OHA's data from May of this year. This right here is the breakdown by county. Now, you can see the state of Oregon, about 34% that are on Medicaid. Well, it roughly mirrors what we see here in Lane County at 34%. Douglas County, though, up at about 40%, with Coos County coming in just short of that at 39%.
Our Medicaid program is known as the Oregon Health Plan, as well as Healthier Oregon. So I think sometimes Oregonians don't realize perhaps that they are on Medicaid. If we lose that federal funding because of what's happening on the federal level with Medicaid, the state's going to have to find a way to fill in that gap. Looking at Oregon numbers, we are looking at 100,000 people losing Medicaid coverage under these requirements.
Now, Republicans in the Senate have been looking to impose 80-hour per month work requirements for Medicaid and food stamp recipients, alongside a $35 copay for certain Medicaid services. As for SNAP benefits, Oregon Department of Human Services saying close to 450,000 households here in the state receive food benefits, while in Lane County, it's 48,000 households. Meanwhile, hospitals, much like Bay Area Hospital over in Coos County, keeping a close watch on potential cuts to Medicaid in President Trump's spending bill. A hospital spokesperson saying, quote, Medicaid makes up just over 20% of the hospital's payer mix and already reimburses at one of the lowest rates. Medicaid pays Oregon hospitals just 56 cents for every dollar provided. Given the current financial constraints, the hospital is highly sensitive to any changes in policies, eligibility, or reimbursement rates across all of its payers, particularly one as significant as Medicaid. Federal actions such as changes to Medicaid could push some hospitals over the edge and at more risk for reducing services, decreasing patient access, and cutting jobs. This is not a sustainable model for the future of our hospitals and health care. End quote. Now, Senator Wyden spoke on the Senate floor during debate surrounding the budget bill. Here's a portion of what he had to say.
The bill before the Senate is loaded with fraudulent budget math that hides trillions of dollars in handouts to corporations and the ultra-wealthy. It's a violation of the rules that used to be followed for years for the reconciliation process. It's a violation of the Congressional Budget Act. It's a violation of common sense.
Now, Oregon Senator Jeff Merkley also calling the bill, quote, a big, beautiful betrayal to the American people, saying, quote, there's no circumstance in which it's acceptable to kick 16 million people off of their health insurance and take food off the plates of 4 million children in order to fund tax breaks for billionaires, end quote.